Hi everybody, hope you're doing well. I genuinely mean that. Given everything going on in the world, I hope you're holding up all right. Um, so today I am just gonna list out my 10 favorite music documentaries. I didn't limit it to whether it could be a concert or not, or more of a documentary that's a story about. Just I was honestly on calls all day, finished those calls, and thought maybe I'll take some downtime to make one of these videos. And I turned to my right, and that's where all my music DVDs and Blu-rays are. So I said, let's just do a top 10. Did it sort of on the fly. So I will jump in just a second. Also want any new subscribers, thank you. As I've mentioned, every new subscriber is $1 to Backline. You can look up Backline at backline.care. It is a nonprofit that provides mental health services to the music industry. I know if you watch my videos, you've heard me say this 100 times, but we raised $500 from our first 500 subs, because I was at like 450, and that's when I had the idea to get to 500. And we have raised, today was 745 or somewhere around there, so an extra $245, which this will be paid out at the end of the year. So whatever number we get to, I think I said under 4,000, I will pay out to Backline. So every sub, and if you want to unsub later, or wait, no, because I'm only going to look at I was going to say you can sub and unsub, but I'm only going to look at the final number at the end of December and then make the donation. So if you don't want to sub, maybe just sub on December 31st for a day, and then unsub on January 1st, because the payment will have been made. See how good I am at sales? So back to the point of this, top 10, ranked from 10 to 1. And I'm sure I'm missing some, because I did this very quickly, so maybe later I'll do it again, or maybe I'll do it with some friends. But here they are, and I have to have these. I have to have a physical copy of these, or else they would not make the cut. So I'm sure there's digital documentaries that I'm not thinking of that would make the list. But of what I own, at number 10 is the documentary The Record Safari, which came out, I think, last year. Yeah, so this is about the record collector. His name is Alex Rodriguez. I follow him on Instagram. These channels, it's because of our love of music. This guy is a whole nother level. Travels the country collecting record or like scouting out record collections. He loves every genre. He knows a million more artists than I do, and he's just a really funny, interesting, sweet guy. So I loved this documentary. It came out again, I think it was last year. There was a record store day soundtrack. I think they only made like 500 of them. I was lucky enough to get it at a reasonable price, and I also bought the DVD. So The Record Safari, Digging in the Crates of America, at number 10. Number 9, which may come as a surprise to some folks. Well, no, the band won't be a surprise, but the selection, maybe? I don't know. This is the Wilco documentary, Ashes of American Flags. And the reason I love this is obviously not just because Wilco is one of my favorite bands, but the way this is shot, it's so beautiful. They cover performances at Kane's Ballroom in Tulsa, Tipitina's in New Orleans, 2 places that I really got to get to one day. The Mobile Civic Center in Mobile, Alabama, the Ryman in Nashville, and the 930 Club in DC. And I just can't stress enough how gorgeously, that's definitely maybe a word, this is shot. If you like Wilco, or if you just like beautiful concert documentaries, I can't recommend this one enough. Came out on Nonesuch, not sure the year, maybe 10 years ago? I'm not sure. Looks like it was after Sky Blue Sky, which came out in 2007. I don't know, somewhere around there. Beautiful documentary. Check it out. Number 8 is the Joe Strummer documentary, The Future is Unwritten. I loved this when it came out. I think I watched it 2 days in a row. Looks like it came out 2006 or 8. I have new glasses on the way. Yep, that's what aging is like. But it's just so inspirational. Joe Strummer, obviously from The Clash. I've told the story on here about it's my biggest concert regret. I was living in Brooklyn with my girlfriend back in 2000. It was the year Joe Strummer died. My friend Michael called me and said that he had an extra ticket to see Joe Strummer at St. Anne's Warehouse. I had dinner plans with my girlfriend at the time, so I was a good boyfriend, at least that night, and told him I couldn't go because I'd already had these plans. And I think it was 6 months later that Joe Strummer passed away. So I will always sort of regret that, although, since I had the meal, I don't know. Great documentary. Number 7 is Dig. I don't know if this holds up well. I loved it when it came out. It is the documentary about the Dandy Warhols and the Brian Jonestown massacre. I remember I saw this, it came out in 2004. I think I saw it in Manhattan at an art house film or movie theater, and I just loved it. But I haven't seen it since it came out. So I don't know if it's held up well. There's a good chance that it doesn't, but I don't know. Maybe I'll have to, I'll watch again. What are we at here? Number 6 is The Devil and Daniel Johnston. Just a tremendous documentary about the wonderful songwriter from Austin, Texas, who died just a few years ago. Wrote one of my favorite songs ever, True Love Will Find You in the End, which Beck covers and Wilco covers. A lot of people have covered that song. Just, I remember there were parts of the documentary that made me feel a little uneasy. I think it was, maybe I thought that they were exploiting him. I don't know. But I remember all in, I liked it, and glad that I watched it. So The Devil and Daniel Johnston at number 6. Number 5 is the Big Star documentary, Nothing Can Hurt Me. I remember especially the interview with Chris Bell's brother, I think his name is David, and when he talked about losing Chris Bell, and I think it was Chris Bell's brother and sister, they're sitting on a couch. It was just the sweetest remembrance of a brother that they miss, who, Chris Bell died at 27 in a car accident in Memphis, and then coming home from his father's restaurant. But this is just one of the, to me, Big Star are the Beatles of the United States. Yeah, and I don't even know how I mean that. I may mean that they're the greatest band ever out of the United States, and I think that is not a far cry from the truth. I'm going to do a video on the best American bands ever. Somebody's probably going to steal that from me and do it first. But Big Star, this is just a beautifully done documentary. I just love this band so much. My brother loved them. It's Chris Bell right there. I Am the Cosmos, which came out, I think, in 77. I think he died in 78, or he died in 77, I can't remember. But just, this is a must-see. One of the greatest bands ever. Top 4. Number 4 is the Townsvanzant, the documentary on Townsvanzant, Be Here to Love Me. God, looking at all the people interviewed here, man, Chris Christopherson, Willie Nelson, Emmylou Harris, Steve Earle, just incredible. It came out 2005. It's all around the same period, mid-2000s, when a lot of great independent films are being made. I'll probably do my favorite movies of all time also. Why not? They're actually, the top 20 is in DVD over there. So it won't be music, but I'll do that at some point. And most of my favorite movies are from that sort of mid to late 90s, early 2000s independent bonanza of great, great films. But this, Be Here to Love Me, Townsvanzant, one of the greatest songwriters ever, one of my all-time favorites. I have 2 posters framed in my place of Towns, one my brother's and one my own, both from this movie. We both got a different poster from this movie framed. So Towns, Be Here to Love Me at number 4. Number 3 is Martin Scorsese's. This was Scorsese, right? Was it Scorsese? Yep. Documentary, No Direction Home. Came out in 2005. What a year. I listen to the soundtrack from this all the time. Just a tremendous, tremendous movie. My favorite Dylan movie. So I'm giving away that, nope, Don't Look Back didn't make the top 2. Nor did, since I already said Wilco only had, I think I said they only had 1, nor did the Billy Wilco documentary, I'm Trying to Break Your Heart, which I could do a whole video on what I think of that movie. It's mixed. Save that for another time. Number 3. Number 2, I had this at 1, and then I just said, how can this other one not be 1? The Minutemen documentary, We Jam Econo. Don't even tell me this came out in 2005. 2006. That's the greatest period ever for music documentaries. For anybody who's seen this, there is, or I guess, yeah, if you've seen it, you'll know the bit where Mike Watt is in his truck, and there's a part when he's in his van. It's incredible. Just talking about DIY, and then there's a part where he's talking about when he met D. Boon, which he said that he was like walking somewhere and D. Boon fell out of a tree. I think that's literally how they met, and then they formed one of the greatest punk rock bands ever. The story of the Minutemen, We Jam Econo. I think it's right here, I met Mike Watt when he played Bottom of the Hill maybe 10, 15 years ago. He signed this for me. That's him and his band. He actually signed 2 postcards for me. I love Mike Watt. What a treasure. What a man. Number 2, We Jam Econo. And at number 1, which it's hard to debate, is, of course, The Last Waltz. Also, Scorsese, yes. This is... you've all seen it. And if you haven't, put it on your list. Sorry, that's my... there's 2 things going on. My dog wants a walk, which he's going to get in a second. And my dishwasher has a beep that I think just stopped. Number 1, The Last Waltz. I think the greatest movie about music ever made. My friend Dave Dewey watches this every Thanksgiving, and now I watch it every Thanksgiving because he does. That's the top 10. A couple that were close. Springsteen in, not the New York City, the Springsteen in, it's somewhere in Europe. It's escaping me, but it's one of the best performances I own. What else? Don't Look Back was on there. Was close. Rolling Thunder Review, Dylan. That was close. A couple others. Sunvolted ACL. But we'll leave it at that. Thanks for stopping by. My next video, I promise, will be a giveaway. I will do that hopefully over the weekend. Have a good holiday if you're in the U.S. Good weekend wherever you may be. Thank you for stopping by, and thank you for supporting Backline. and we'll talk soon. Share your favorites. Give me some recommendations in the comments. Not a lot of people comment on my videos. That's because not a lot of people watch my videos. But if you're there, tell me your favorite. All right, take care.